Your person wants you to know that they are no longer the same individual you once knew. They are evolving, growing into a different man, one who is finally beginning to understand himself and his purpose. For the longest time, he carried the belief that life had dealt him an unfair hand. He often felt like a victim of his circumstances, weighed down by pain, regret, and situations he thought he had no control over. That mindset kept him stuck, repeating the same cycles, avoiding accountability, and pushing people away, even those he cared deeply about. But recently, something within him has shifted. A quiet but powerful realization has taken root: blaming the past won't change the future. For the first time in a long while, he is choosing to let go of bitterness and resentment, and instead, focus on the opportunities that are beginning to emerge in his life. This change, however, didn't happen on its own. He wants you to know that if he has found the strength to begin healing, if he has discovered the courage to face his darker parts, his shadow self, it's because of you. You were the one who unknowingly lit the spark within him. You inspired him to look inward, to reflect on the man he was becoming, and to question whether that was the man he truly wanted to be. Your strength, your patience, your authenticity, they showed him what was possible. Your presence in his life, even if it was at times painful or complicated, has served as a mirror and a motivator. You didn't just make him want to change, you made him believe that change was worth the effort. He admits now, with a heavy heart, that he always wanted you. You were never just another chapter in his story, you were the person who made everything feel more alive, more real. But he also knows that he wasn't ready. He wasn't prepared to put in the emotional work, to face the uncomfortable truths, or to be the kind of partner you needed and deserved. At the time, he may have run from that responsibility, not out of lack of love, but out of fear and unpreparedness. He was caught in his own inner battles, still clinging to pain, still blaming the world instead of taking responsibility for his own growth. Now, though, he is coming forward with a new mindset and a plan. Not just vague promises or emotional words, but a genuine desire to build something lasting with you. He's thinking about the future in ways he never has before. He wants to grow this relationship, nurture it, and protect it with intention. He's no longer content with passivity. He understands that relationships require effort, patience, vulnerability, and consistent action, and he's willing to offer all of that now. Still, despite this growth, he is not without sorrow. He is in mourning, mourning the time lost, the opportunities missed, and the damage caused by his own emotional unavailability. He feels foolish for the choices he made, for the words he didn't say, and for the walls he built around himself when he should have been letting you in. There's a deep ache in him now, because he senses he may be losing you. That realization terrifies him. It's waking him up in the middle of the night, filling him with regret and longing. His impatience is growing. He wants to reach out to you so badly, to call, to write, to say everything he should have said before. But part of him hesitates, unsure if you would even want to hear from him again. He's wrestling with that fear, but it doesn't change how strongly he feels. Right now, he is consumed by his emotions. Every thought of the day and every whisper of the night leads back to you. Reconciliation isn't just a passing desire for him, it's his focus, his hope, the thing he's holding on to as he tries to become better. More than anything, he wants you to understand that his love for you was never a question. He loved you then, perhaps in the only way he knew how at the time, but he loves you more now because he finally understands what it truly means to love someone, to show up, to grow, to listen, to be present. He's not asking for blind forgiveness or instant restoration. He knows trust must be rebuilt. But he's willing to do that work, brick by brick, if you'll let him. Because deep down, you are still the person he envisions a future with. And even if that future feels uncertain right now, it's the one he's fighting for with every ounce of his becoming. Let me start by saying that I am in absolute awe of you. From the very beginning, you have been unlike anyone I've ever encountered. There's something about your strength, your presence, and your spirit that commands attention without ever needing to raise your voice. You are the first woman, no, the first person, who ever truly stood up to me when I was wrong. You didn't yell, you didn't argue for the sake of it. You simply refused to accept anything less than respect, and in doing so, you made me confront my own behavior in a way I never had before. When you stopped calling me and stopped responding to my texts, I felt the sting of your absence more deeply than I expected. At that moment, it hit me just how disrespectful and careless I had been, not just in that moment, but in the way I had treated you, perhaps without even realizing it. Your silence spoke louder than any argument ever could. It forced me to reflect. And as I sat there in that silence, surrounded only by my own thoughts, everything came rushing in, the things I said, the things I didn't say, the way I acted, and most importantly, the way I made you feel. The memories we created together continue to play in my mind like scenes from a film I never want to end. They are unforgettable, etched into my heart and soul. Whether it was a quiet conversation, a shared laugh, or a deep moment of vulnerability, every memory we share carries weight. They are a reminder of something real, something deep, something rare. Your impact on my life is immeasurable. It's not just about the time we spent together, it's about how you made me see myself and the world differently. You have a light in you that most people spend their entire lives searching for. Your words carry depth. Your silence speaks volumes. Your creativity, your ability to express, to understand, to connect, it's truly unmatched. There is something about the way your mind works, how your thoughts are always dancing just beyond the ordinary, always chasing something meaningful. You are, without a doubt, one of the most talented people I've ever known. But what strikes me the most isn't just your talent, it's your soul. You are a beautiful soul, through and through. You have a way of making people feel seen and heard, even in their most broken moments. You did that for me. When I was struggling in silence, when I didn't even know how to explain the heaviness I felt inside, you didn't run. You didn't judge. You stood by me, and somehow, you helped heal parts of me I didn't even know were wounded. In a world that often feels shallow and fast-paced, you offered depth and presence. You gave me the space to be myself, but you also challenged me to be better. You didn't sugarcoat things. You told the truth even when it was hard, and that truth helped me grow. I am not the same person I was before I met you, and I mean that in the best way possible. You helped me face myself and become more honest, more humble, more aware. You are the only person who has ever been able to reach that wounded part of me and offer healing, not just with your words, but with your presence. You soothed my soul in a way I can't quite explain, and you helped mend a heart that had forgotten what real love and connection felt like. I honestly believe that people come into our lives for a reason, and you were no exception. You were a blessing, one I never saw coming but now could never forget. I feel nothing but gratitude that our paths crossed. Even if things didn't unfold perfectly, even if I made mistakes, I am still so thankful that I had the chance to know you, to learn from you, to love you. Because within you, I didn't just find a romantic partner. I found my best friend, the one person I could talk to about anything. I found a teacher, someone who led by example, who taught me the value of self-respect and boundaries. And I found a soulmate, someone who understood me in ways I couldn't even put into words. You made me feel at home. That's the only way I can describe it. When I was with you, the world made more sense. My life had more purpose. My days had more meaning. I wasn't just living, I was truly alive. So, if I haven't said it clearly enough, let me say it now. Thank you. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for loving me, for challenging me, for walking away when you had to, and for showing me what real strength and grace look like. You are extraordinary. And no matter where life takes us, I will always carry a part of you with me, gratefully, lovingly, and with the deepest respect. Your partner has finally awakened to the truth of the deep and powerful connection that exists between the two of you. After a long period of confusion, distraction, or emotional detachment, they are now entering the realization phase of their journey. This is the stage where the fog begins to lift, and they're beginning to see clearly what they've lost, and what they still feel deeply within their heart. They are coming to terms with the fact that the bond you both shared wasn't just ordinary. It was rare, meaningful, and spiritually significant. The magnitude of what they had, and what they let slip through their fingers, is starting to hit them with full force. With this awakening comes a deep sense of regret. Your partner is beginning to feel the emotional weight of their past choices. They feel as though they've betrayed the one person who truly loved them without conditions, the one who stood by them, believed in them, and supported them despite their flaws. They're realizing that their actions, whether caused by fear, immaturity, pride, or confusion, pushed away the one soul who saw them for who they really are. This recognition is painful, but it's also necessary for their growth and transformation. As you continue to focus on yourself, pouring your energy into your goals, chasing your dreams, and refusing to settle for anything less than you deserve, your partner is being pulled even more strongly in your direction. Your independence, your resilience, and your refusal to let heartbreak define you are exactly what's inspiring them now. They see you rising, glowing, and evolving, and they can't help but feel drawn to that light. It's not just attraction, it's a soul-level yearning. They feel an undeniable magnetic pull toward you, something that logic cannot explain and distance cannot weaken. They are not interested in anyone else. Despite any options that may surround them, none of it matters. No one compares to you. In fact, no one even comes close. Your presence continues to linger in their thoughts, and they find themselves trying, sometimes consciously, sometimes subconsciously, to manifest you back into their life. Whether it's through memories, dreams, or the emotions that surface during quiet moments, they are constantly reminded of what they had and how deeply they still want it. One of their biggest regrets is not being honest with you from the beginning. They now understand that they should have told you everything about their past, their fears, their internal battles, and the time they needed to truly heal and fix what was broken within them. Instead, they may have hidden parts of their truth or pretended to be more ready than they actually were. They realize now how unfair that was to you and how much pain it may have caused. If they could go back in time, they would do it differently. They would choose honesty, even if it meant being vulnerable or risking the relationship at the time. Now, in their eyes, you have become the one that got away. That realization is both haunting and motivating for them. They feel the karmic pull, the spiritual gravity of the situation, and they're beginning to understand that everything unfolded exactly as it was meant to. Even the separation. Even the silence. This journey, the highs, the heartbreak, the healing, was fated to happen just the way it did. It was necessary for both of you to evolve individually so that the connection could have a chance to thrive in a more balanced and authentic way. For your part, you've done the work. You've cried the tears, learned the lessons, and chosen yourself. You've healed the wounds that once held you back, and you've rebuilt your sense of worth piece by piece. No longer do you seek validation from others. No longer are you willing to be used, neglected, or emotionally drained by anyone. You've grown stronger, wiser, and more discerning, and that inner transformation has changed everything about how you show up in the world, and how others perceive you. This healing has also acted as a mirror for your partner. It has forced them to confront their own toxicity, their own patterns of avoidance or self-sabotage. Seeing you rise, refusing to settle, and walking in your power has made them realize just how much they need to grow, how much they need to unlearn, and how deeply they want to be worthy of your love again. You didn't just walk away, you evolved. And that evolution is what has stirred something deep within them. Now, the journey is reaching a new phase. Your role is not to chase or to fix, but simply to stay grounded, stay patient, and remain true to yourself. The universe is aligning things in ways you cannot yet fully see. What is meant for you will never pass you by, and this connection, with all its depth and intensity, was never ordinary. If your partner continues their healing and chooses to return with sincerity, honesty, and growth, you will be in the power position to decide what's truly best for your heart. Until then, keep shining, keep rising, and trust the divine timing of it all.